Morning, guys. It's Drew here. Quick video blog. I wanted to do a video today on the philosophical reasons behind, being a black man that supports Donald Trump. Okay, I'm not going to get into the policies and things like that because I've seen that a lot of people are not logical. A lot of people are emotional and they don't think about policies when they're casting a vote or when they're supporting a political candidate. A lot of people think about politics from an emotional standpoint. So I want to express why there is other reasons besides just logical policies, like low tax rates and things like that to support a president, because not everybody thinks logically. Some people think with their emotions. So as a black man, like there is some emotionally driven reasons to vote for Trump. And I think, I saw a tweet online by somebody that said, there are two things that could vastly and, drastically impact somebody's political outlook. And he said that's building muscle. And then he also said building a business. That's two of which things I'm successful at. I'm 6'1", 255 pounds. I have about 15% body fat. I'm pretty muscular, and I've always been since I was a young man. I've always had a propensity for being muscular because the men on my mother's side are very muscular, very big dudes. They're like built like Samoans, and then my father is also a big dude himself. So genetically, I was kind of like put in a position where if I go to the gym, I build muscle pretty easily. So I have that genetic gift. So without much effort, I mean, I go to the gym every single day, so you can't call it without much effort these days. But I'm 35. I go to the gym every single day, and I'm 6'1", 255 pounds, and most of that is muscle. You know what I mean? I did wrestling in high school, and I did sports where, you're part of a team, but you also have to show and prove, and you have no choice but to practice, and put all your energy in just to get better at what you're doing. I did a lot of no excuse activities, weightlifting, wrestling, a lot of no excuse activities where you are kind of out there and you got to bring the bacon home and you got to put the effort in to get what you want out of it. You know what I mean? So those activities kind of like put in my mind that nothing comes without hard work. Nothing comes without hard work. So add to it that the fact that I also built the three companies that I have, Scale Operations Management, Barracuda 7, New York Duck Cleaning. These three companies that I have, two of them, the first two, Scale Operations Management and Barracuda 7, were built ground up. Okay, so they were built ground up. No handouts. Nobody helped me. Nobody told me what to do. I got the knowledge from books that I read outside of the school curriculum. I read while people, this is going to sound weird, but while people were going to prom in high school, I was rewriting the book Ink and Grow Rich, which tells you how to lower your taxes 70% and how to incorporate and how to build businesses. I read Loopholes of the Rich. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read Think and Grow Rich also by Napoleon Hill. I'm reading The Alchemist right now. I read Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. I read He Came to Set the Captives Free by Rebecca Brown, MD. I read Prepare for War by Rebecca Brown, MD. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I read The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. I read Think Big and Kick Ass in Business and Life by Donald Trump. I read it's a little chilly out here. I read so many books that put the knowledge in me to be able to build businesses and attain wealth, that it's kind of ironed this way of thinking into me that works, that produces results. Okay, so from a physical standpoint, I've trained my body. From a mental standpoint, I've trained my mind, and all of them, come to this conclusion that nothing comes without hard work, sacrifice, focus, energy, intent. There's no such thing as somebody handing you anything of value. And typically, when people are handed things of value, they don't even value them the same way than if they would have earned it. So this 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 journey that I've been on for much of my life put into my head. I mean, I used to drive a Dodge Charger that I bought when I came out of college, when I was doing clerical work. After I started doing, I was doing clerical work in 2008, and then half of 2008 I worked for Cablevision. Then 2009 I worked for Frank Lucas as general manager. That lasted for about a year and a half. Frank Lucas, the guy who was an American gangster, you know, transitioning people who were felons to legit businesses. I worked for Enterprise. I worked for several different companies. I literally worked my way up. And everything that I've ever done, I've worked my way up. Nothing has ever been handed to me. So I understand that innately, internally, how to build things. I understand that, you got to look at how whenever you're trying to create wealth, and whenever you're trying to create something of value, whenever you're trying to build something, you have to look at whether what you're building, whether what you're doing is sustainable, whether your process is sustainable, and what the ramifications of those processes are. You can't look at things like somebody giving you money is not sustainable, because it's human nature that if you're the beneficiary and somebody's just giving you things, they have control now. They have control over you because you become dependent on what they're giving you. And then some people say, oh, it's just a leg up, it's just a hand up. Yeah, for a small percentage of people. For a small percentage of people, it's just a hand up. For most people, it's a handout, and they're going to sit back and expect that handout to come again. From an emotional standpoint, as a man who prioritizes protecting, providing, building, constructing. I'm a builder. I create things. I create companies. I create and I manage companies. I build my body. I build my mind. I build my spirit. So as a person who's always building things and making things, I know that things take effort. Things take time. And additionally, I like a little bit of tough love. Tough love is how I got here. Tough love is how I got here. The people who coached me, the mentors that I seeked out they were not like, the mentors that I seeked out that kind of like advised me, they were not soft. They're not soft people. These are people who go out every single day, make shit happen for their families, and that fight every single day to make shit happen for their families. These are good people. You know what I mean? These are people who fight. So that's the emotional reason for supporting Donald Trump. Because whether you're black or white, man, it's cold out here. It's New York weather, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's getting brick. Whether you're black or white, Spanish or Chinese or whatever, or Asian, I don't know, what, Indian, there's one language people understand, and that is the hustler's language. That is people who work hard and people who build things, people who construct things. What I see is there's a commonality for people who've never really built anything, who don't support Trump, because they don't understand. They don't understand. People who have never created anything, who've never created a company, who don't build muscle, who don't create things, they don't understand. They don't understand. People who just go work a job and come back home, they don't get it. And most of those people won't. But I will say this on the Democrat side. Caretakers, people who take care of other people. I'll elaborate on this. People who take care of other people tend to have problems with Donald Trump. Like people who look after underprivileged people, they tend to have problems with Donald Trump because they don't like the way he talks. But my thing is this. At the end of the day, I take care of the people who take care of underprivileged people. I pay the bills for people who take care of underprivileged people. You know what I mean? Like, I house the people. I feed the people who take care of underprivileged people. My companies employ people who take care of underprivileged people. My companies pay charity to people who take care of underprivileged people. My people send donations. My companies send donations. So at the end of the day, There is a reason. There is a reason why, as a man who is a builder and who's a creator and who works on things and who builds things from scratch to success, would support Trump, because he's done it many times. And even though he's failed many times, failure is part of the process. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you don't always win. That's part of the process. When you go hunting, you don't always catch your biggest game. You know, when you play any game, when you do anything, you don't always get the most out of it. But most of us are not worried about the rhetoric. You know, we do think some of the things that he says are crazy and some of the things that he says are stupid. But at the end of the day, we care about results. We care about results. We want results, you know, and we could see typically when those results are compromised by opposition, we could see many different parts of the game, many different parts of the board, you know. So at the end of the day, there is an emotional reason for supporting Trump. There's an emotional reason, and a lot of it comes from a philosophy of hard work, building things, and not really wanting to lose what you've built. It's not about just keeping your money. It's not about greed. It's not about just keeping your money. It's about the fact that you built something. You created something. You put your energy and time into making something, and you don't want to lose what you've built. That's pretty much what it is. That's the difference. Okay? A lot of the people who don't support Trump, I don't see that in them. I don't see the builder's mentality in them. I don't see the builder's philosophy in them, because they don't wake up every single day and work on themselves. They just wake up every single day and they are who they are. A lot of those people, they just wake up every single day and they are who they are. That's not the case with me. I'm not going to be the same person I am this year that I'm going to be next year. I'm always working on myself. I'm always growing mentally, physically, spiritually, always working, always building something, always growing. And some things expedite that process. I believe meeting my fiance has expedited the process of growth, emotional growth. I believe, some meeting some of my mentors expedited certain aspects of business mindset and my business growth. You know, some things are expedited, but you have to have it in yourself, because at the end of the day, if you don't have it in you to build things, you're not going to build things. That's just what it is. You're just going to linger, as you're just going to be who you are. You know, what a lot of people do who don't have the builder's mentality is they just are who they are. They expect the world to change around them, but they're not changing themselves. They expect the world to change around them, and they think that they can change the world around them, but they don't want to change themselves. That's not how it works. If you cannot change yourself, you cannot change the world around you. And that's just what it is, because you don't even know the process by which things change. You don't know the process by which things grow. So anyway, long story short, if you're a man, you build muscle, you build businesses, you'll probably be a Republican. You'll probably be a conservative. You build muscle, you build businesses, you protect people, you provide for people. If you're a man of this caliber, right, you'll probably be a Republican, because the policies that the Republicans put forth and the energy that they put forth will help you continue to do what you're doing. It will give you the freedom and the wherewithal to continue doing what you're doing. It's not just about rich, poor. It's not about rich, poor. There's a lot more involved. If you're a man who goes out and you build things, you make things and whatnot, you're not waiting for anybody to give you money. You're not waiting for anybody to give you a handout, because you're going to go earn it yourself. That is the difference. That is the emotional reason for supporting Donald Trump. And again, I'm going to say it again. I said it before. That is why I support Donald Trump, and that is why I'm supporting him for president in 2020. I'm not expecting anybody to give me a handout. I'm not expecting anybody to tell me when I can open my businesses. My businesses have been open this entire time. I'm not expecting anybody to I don't need PPE from the government. I don't need a handout. My businesses are self-sustaining. And you know what? I get up every single day and I tend to those businesses, and they keep growing and they keep sustaining and they keep earning. That's the way it's done. You don't wait for the government to give you PPE. You don't wait for the government to tell you how you can do things. You don't wait for the government to put a mask over your face and tell you when you can take it off. That is slavery. It's mental slavery. They're conditioning you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, those are the emotional reasons. Those are the not so logical reasons, I guess, for supporting Trump. Those are the reasons that have to do with a more human level of supporting Trump. And that's what it is. And that's all I got to say. Peace.